Dgenz Crypto Daily episode 58 is coming right up.
Dgenz Crypto Daily. Dgenz Crypto Daily. Dgenz Crypto Daily. That's right. Dgenz Crypto Daily. Let's go. Dgenz Crypto Daily, news in the code. Riding on a blockchain, heavy with the load. Lambo dreams are dying, rugs are in the air. Chart gave us a meaning to the trading everywhere. Real Bitcoin's on the moon, and Ether's on fire. Holders in the storm, lifted higher and higher. With chart in the lead, watch the candles glow. Crypto's in the fast lane, never gonna hit them slow. Dgenz Crypto Daily, fortunes you can see. Mining all those diamonds in digital harmony. Oh, yeah. Dgenz Crypto Daily. Crypto, that's the key. Stay up on your game now. Trading is wild and free. DeFi farms are lush, staking's all the buzz. NFTs are flipping, got those pixels flipping. Wallet stacking yield, hash rates on the rise. Dgenz Crypto Daily, vision in your eyes. Bulls are on the charge, bears are laying low. Crypto roller coaster, markets have been flown. Fellow to the left, Bitcoin on the right. Crypto's never sleeping, cause fortunes are overnight. Dgenz Crypto Daily, fortunes you can see. Mining all those diamonds in digital harmony. Dgenz Crypto Daily, crypto, there's the key. Stay up on your game now. Charts got you wild and free. DeFi farms are lush, staking's all the buzz. NFTs are flipping, got those pixels flipping. Wallet stacking yield, hash rates on the rise. Dgenz Crypto Daily, vision in your eyes. Bulls are on the charge, bears are laying low. Crypto roller coaster, markets have been flown. Velo to the left, Bitcoin on the right. Crypto's never sleeping, cause fortunes are overnight. Dgenz Crypto Daily, fortunes you can see. Fortunes you can see. All those diamonds. Dgenz Crypto Daily, crypto, there's the key. Stay up on your game now. Charts got you wild and free.
Yep, I have you wild and free. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Dgenz Crypto Daily, episode 58. How you guys are doing on this amazing Tuesday? It is October 22nd. Damn, we got a few more days before the end of October. And can anyone tell me when this October is going to actually happen? Like, I want my money back. I want that refund. How do you feel about October? Is it as good as advertised? I think we need to discuss this October thing with the powers that are governing our crypto world. You know, maybe call Binance and say, when October, guys? Don't you need the fees? So let's look at everything today. We're going to look at Bitcoin, obviously, and see where our index of crypto is going to lead us in the next couple of days. We did talk about possible regression yesterday and today. I don't think it's going to be a long-lasting regression because we'll go over that in a second. But I wanted to take a look at some layer ones. We're going to definitely look at Politify tokens, and Trump. I warned you guys that there's a possibility of a retrace happening, and this is where we're getting now. So we'll take a look at that. We will also take a look at, how our layer one's doing. And I believe, there's a lot of value out there still with layer ones, even layer twos. Like I think OP is a layer two. We'll take a look at some of them as well today. Also, don't forget, any request that you want to make in the chat is appreciated, and we will take a look at that as well if we have the time. Before we start anything, use this opportunity to give me a follow on Twitter. Yes, I still call it Twitter. X just feels wrong. I don't know, but it is what it is. Give me a follow. Hit this. I think for you is a different button, but hit that button right there. You'll get alerted whenever I'm live like this, right? You'll see a little pop-up right here on the side. And you won't miss any of our streams. We do have all the streams recorded, obviously. So people that are listening in right now, much later in the day, thank you for that. Really appreciate you listening in afterwards. If you haven't had a chance to follow us on our NFT account, please do that as well. It really helps us keep our audience engaged. We are really a cool community on Solana, and we're trying to get better every single day together in this crypto thing. So give us a follow, and also if you want to join our community, hit this Discord link. Our NFTs are cool. We're going through a art upgrade really soon, so we're excited to showcase that. We're also offering a free newsletter for anybody who wants to sign up. I believe it's on the ticker at the bottom. Like, I love this little ticker that I put together, but we do have a newsletter that's coming out. It is right here. The link to our newsletter is in the ticker at the bottom. It's going to be scrolling all stream along. So if you have missed it, you can get it again. But it's a free sign up. The content's going to include all kinds of things crypto related, including setups and predictions in the markets and what we expect in traditional finance and in crypto markets. Any news articles that we see that are important. We'll digest a lot of it. So it's free. It's a weekly newsletter. Sign up there. If you want to interact with the stream, it's so simple, really. You go to the stream's broadcast page, you go to the bottom right-hand corner, and you can send any message like GM chart, just like that. I can see it on the screen. And if you put in a request, like we already have now, we will definitely look at them and go over the setups and everything else. So what's new in the world of crypto? Let's check this out. So I think Gary Gensler is finally cleaning out his office, right? Because clearly both candidates that are vying for the presidency are really signaling to Gary that his days are up as the SEC chairman. Because clearly he didn't do anything positive for crypto and the crypto industry. So it is important to note that he's going to be gone. And I think everybody knows this. And so I think this article suggests that this is going to be the case. It says here, the US SEC chair has arguably been the individual with the greatest influence over the direction of America's crypto policies, but his days atop the agency are numbered. Most Securities and Exchange Commission chiefs step down after a new president arrives. And for the crypto industry, Chair Gary Gensler's final moment is a point of high interest. Digital assets leaders have battled him in court. We already know about the issues with not only Ripple, but Coinbase and Binance, and more recently, Crypto.com. So Gensler has options for how he wants to end things, and he has still some time left to engage in crypto policy and enforcement before he goes. I wonder if he's gonna, take a torch to the entire place and burn it all down before he leaves. It depends on what his next move is going to be as a, man in the realm of finance, if he's going to take on another role or not. But if he does, it's going to be pretty wise for him to burn down crypto if he wants to be, in the pockets of the banks. So we'll see what happens in the next, I guess, few weeks, maybe months, because I think that the changeover is in the new year. So he's got a few more months to go. So he says here, Gensler's 5-year SEC term expires in January 5th, 2026. So technically he still has a full year, but tradition suggests a chair will step away if the opposing party takes the White House. So I still think if Kamala Harris wins, she's going to probably turf him. I think she will. I could be naive here. Yeah, we know that Trump is going to definitely take out Gary as soon as he can. So we know that's going to be happening. All right, well, sayonara, Gary. Nice knowing you. More election stuff. It says here, where was it? Ripple co-founder Larson. He's flooding Kamala Harris's election effort with XRP. Yeah, of course, he's got a whole bunch of it just sitting in his pocket, and it's one way to kind of like offset his capital gains, right? Because I'm sure he's made a lot of money in general by selling his XRP. Now he's donating 11 million XRP, which is kind of offsetting for him for his taxes. So I'm not surprised about that. Funny, he's not donating US dollars, right? He's donating XRP. It's just funny how the game actually works. Interesting. Solana token issuer Pump.Fund rakes in big bucks with 1 million sold in lifetime fees. Well done. Find some. See, this is the thing, right? If you create something that's fun to use and it's easy to use, it will be adopted by a lot of degenerates like us. It says here active addresses grew to 85,000, of which 37,000 were new wallets, indicative of strong demand, of course, right? If you're making meme coins with a click of a button, then anyone can do it. Token issuer Pump.Fund is nearly 1 million sold token in lifetime fees, with over 2.5 million tokens launched using the service since its early March release. So let me get this straight. 2.5 million tokens were released since its release. That's a lot of shitcoins. That's a lot of shitcoins. Oh man, you guys are so crazy. Well done if you've made money. I did see one article that I want to kind of go over. It's an opinion article. And it was, hopefully I didn't lose it. Shoot, might have lost it. Let me see if I can find it. It was by, there it is. Okay, the new blockchain's trilemma is here, and it's not about technology. It's an interesting opinion because it tackles what's in it for the future of crypto in general. It's a balance between what onboarding the next billion people is going to look like, right? Especially because a lot of people are risk intolerant, right? They are not willing to take on a massive amount of risk. And so, how do you battle that? How do you find a way to, explain to people, listen, you should invest in some cryptocurrencies, right? Listen, I've been around for a while now. A lot of it draws down 85% or more every single cycle. And unfortunately, even the good cryptocurrencies do draw down a lot. So how do you tell new investors that it's going to be good in the future? So it says here, the article mentions The original blockchain trilemma said builders had to choose between decentralization, scalability, and security, which is exactly what it used to be. The new one is a choice between products, customers, and regulatory approval, right? So, not to bore you with all the stuff, but essentially, the first part was, um, you know, people who were building blockchains and layer ones had to choose between decentralization, scalability, and security. There had to be offsetting parts where, you remove some decentralization for scalability and beefing up security, right? Or vice versa. You keep decentralization intact, but you lose scalability, right? There always had to be a trade-off somewhere. You couldn't get a perfect match anywhere. The only, I guess, solution now that we have is adding layer twos for scalability and security. We're keeping decentralization intact on layer one, right? So I think that's kind of like the way of the future. So when it came to technology, this is what it reads. At least in the case of Ethereum, the network was long seen as having strong decentralization and robust security, but seriously constrained when it came to capacity. Today, while the trade-offs between the different priorities have never gone away, blockchains themselves have advanced so enormously that in all three areas, most users consider them to be good enough. This is what I mean by trade-offs, right? Eventually, you're going to have some trade-offs. So the new trilemma is basically, shifting focus from that aspect of crypto to onboarding people, the users, right? And so this is what it says here. The shift into the new trilemma was triggered earlier this year by the nearly simultaneous approval of Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs in the US at the start of the markets in crypto assets regulation, which came into effect in Europe. Between these two landmark events and a host of other countries implementing regulatory regimes for digital assets, a fundamental shift is underway in the market. So the issue is, the lack of regulatory approval in larger markets, right? So in the US, for example, we talk about all of that. Canada has some approval, but it's still uncertain. They're waiting for larger approvals to understand how we deal with. There's a lot of regulation too in Canada. I know that because I use Canadian exchanges. But then the rest of the world still needs to catch up a little bit. I know Asia's leading the way a lot of times. I think Japan is going to do another round of let's look at the regulations from a different point of view scenario. Because I think they have regulation, but they need to at least have another look at them. And it says here, more than 70% of the crypto assets and trading is done on offshore. Many of the crypto native firms cut back their efforts to get licensed in big markets during the recent downturn. If you guys remember, Binance had that happening where they moved away from US markets altogether. I know KuCoin and Mexi, they're now allowing US based residents to use their platform because of these regulations. So this is the kind of stuff that we're talking about. As a result, these firms have an existing customer base and quite a few digital asset offerings, but lack regulatory approvals to move their businesses onshore and chase new revenues. A second set group of firms where see a lot of are digital asset natives in regulated markets. So they have approvals, but no customers, right? So they haven't built their customer base through any other means. Especially crypto customers are normally natively onboarded through decentralized means, right? No KYC and so on and so forth. So how do you go about, approving these customers through the proper channels? It's very difficult to sell them on this idea in the first place, right? So I think it's very difficult for them to find these avenues to onboard a whole bunch of people. And the other last one is the more mature financial institutions, which are banks, right? Which have a huge customer base and apparently mature regulatory compliance processes. I know in Canada for sure, but usually no digital assets to offer, right? So they're really hesitant to offer this kind of stuff because of the normal downturns in crypto markets, right? And so eventually there's going to be a leveling off where banks are going to start to realize that this is what customers actually want, and they're going to be more risk tolerant as they move forward in time. The other thing that's actually happening right now that's really good about all of this is that the issuance of stablecoins, right? Because that is the most key part of all of this. We have to have triggers in these funds, right, that are being managed either by the banks or whatever, that are able to transfer that equity into stablecoins once they understand that there's a downturn in the markets, right? And these professionals obviously will have to do the work and manage these funds. And I think this is how you onboard the largest of traditional finance people, because they're really risk averse. Like, they really want small gains, no risk, because their assets are enormous. Like, think about putting, say, $10 million in an asset or in a fund, and you just want 1% return, right, per year. So if 1% on 10 million is $100,000, with no risk, that's free money, right? So how can you tell that person to put into crypto, right? The only way to do that is if you have proper managers that can move that crypto quickly into a stablecoin, right? That is fully compliant, fully transparent, and it is vetted by the governing bodies from each country, for whether it's in Canada, the US, doesn't really matter. So I think this is going to be the next stage of onboarding everybody, is the issuance of stablecoins and remission that is fast and secure. Because otherwise, what's the point? All of this, we're all taking gambles at the end of the day. So if you want to look at that article and read it for yourself, I strongly suggest it. It's a really good article to digest, because it talks about all kinds of stuff that's really going to be on the forefront in the future for onboarding a lot of people into crypto. All right. So let's look at Bitcoin as we start today. Where is it? Is it dumping? Is it pumping? So one of the things we said about it yesterday was, we will probably have a couple of days of dumping. Why? Because I think we've passed this channel. Now, I might have not drawn this channel properly, right? It might actually be here, right? Which means that the drop could be about here, and that's about 65.3. We could get it to here, 66, right? Again, we do have this pinch on the MACD on the daily that's happening, right? Two things can obviously happen, right? We can have this drawdown, which means we can have a quick down wave to here probably, and then out, or we can have a hold at this level, right, while this is pinching. So this can fully do this while we hold sideways, right? That means buyers are coming in all the time at that level and just saying, you know what, it's not going to happen. I'm not going to allow it to drop any further. So the demand is outweighing the supply, and then we can crack and go. So maybe that's what we get, One thing I'm curious, I'm going to go over with you, is I want to see what happens to November in the year prior to the bull run. I want to see what the returns are, because I want to see whether or not November is going to be set up as bullish or bearish or in between. Okay. So we're not looking bad overall on the daily, right? We're looking at this pinch, if that's going to be anything to worry about, right? Weekly, again, looks great. We talk about this pinch all the time, so it's finally happened, right? That's why on the daily, I'm not really concerned, right? Yeah, okay, we have this regression, if you can see it. Okay, we see this regression, but it's, I think, because we pumped out of this channel, right? So this long channel started back in March of 24 of this year. And so we went all the way down, we pumped out of it, and now I think we're just touching back and we're going to get going. If we take a look at the monthly scale, we have now how many days? 9 days and 10 hours. Okay. I did talk to you guys about this, the fact that there's a possibility of a pinch here, but I don't think it will be, because if you can look closely, these two lines are almost separating, right? They're getting closer, but they're starting to separate, which is really, really good, because this is why we had this pump, right? If we didn't get this pump, but we're sitting down here, these two lines are most likely going to converge, and they were going to cross over, and we would have this action like this, and that would be actually catastrophic. We would have the next bull run in 2028 or whatever. So because it's not happening, I think this should start to extend again. We will have these momentum bars start a new wave. So I think we should get another wave coming up this way. And when you squash the chart a little bit, you can see that, we are so far away from an actual bull run. We're, hovering above this line right here. So technically, we are just confirming that to be the new support. So 60,000 is about the support. And then I think we should get going again to 120 or so. All right. Dominance, right, is struggling again, right? This was the point of contention. We said we could get probably a pump to here. Remember, we talked about there's going to be, if there's a run in Bitcoin before any alts, there could be a pump to that level and then straight down, right? I think we have those lines. Actually, I removed them the other day, but what I mean by that is, like, I'll show you on the daily. So if we're going to look at daily scale, and one of the things you can do is you can put a trend line together. So let's do one here. There. Okay, so there's a trend line. Eventually it's going to break, right? Because it's being tapped too many times on the daily scale. And it's hovering at that resistance too, right? Maybe even this resistance here. So, I mean, at any point, we're looking at a drop of dominance, and that would send all alts crazy. Really looking forward to that day. I don't know when that is happening, but tether dominance, we saw a little bit of a bounce here, as you guys can see that, right? But we hit a resistance too, right? Like right there. So even though this is pinching and looking like a double bottom, I want to see what happens, right? If this continues to this level and then down, or this actually just turns and goes this way. All right. Keep an eye on that as well. Okay, let's get into some requests. All right, ATR. I love ATR. I love Art Trade. Okay, let's do that. So one of the things I noticed about Art Trade is that it trades really fast. So if you are risk averse, all you have to do is buy and hold. Don't worry about anything else. So I was lucky to actually find it like down here. And I didn't get it right there, but I got it in here. So I'm a firm believer in this project. I really like the idea of this project. They're trying to tokenize real art and like actual art pieces that you can buy at an auction, right? And by tokenizing, you're essentially, what we're doing is you're doing what we're trying to do in other categories, which is real estate and other world, your real world assets, right? And so this is art. And I might have talked to you guys about this project before, but I really believe in their idea. So the issue here is we could break down here and, go back to this level here. Okay, it is a possibility, right? Because we're still negative in MACD on the daily. I thought we're going to get a pump maybe to here and then come down for a nice W wave. So basically something like this. But if it comes down to here, that's going to be the third level, right? So 1, 2, 3. Use that opportunity to add, right? Because then we're looking at, wave 1 to wave 2. And then wave 3 is going to be probably back to that level here, right? Its market cap is like next to nothing. I'm going to say like sub 10 million. Let me take a look quickly for you. Okay, there you go. So 20 million. I mean, volume is not great, but it spikes. So there's moments where it just goes crazy and then it's over, 2-3 million. I would strongly suggest if you're thinking about adding to a RWA portfolio, our trade is one I would strongly suggest. Okay. Not only that, it's back to Solana. It went from BSC to Solana. All right. 13,000 people are watching it. I mean, it's really, really undervalued. Like really undervalued. And if you want, you take it to their website. Right. So I would strongly suggest you guys look into it. Like I said, I'm a holder, so I'll speak on the fact that I'm actually holding our trade. You guys should definitely look into it as well. All right, what else we got? Popcat. Yeah, of course, Popcat. So once a push higher, right? We have this failed head and shoulders. I'll show you what I mean. So it's kind of like that. I didn't draw it most perfectly, but you get what I mean by that. As long as fit it like this, probably it's much better. As long as this gets rejected at the neckline, we'll get a reversal. So the idea is, as long as this neckline rejects, so the price action doesn't go south, we normally have a rally to the upside. Okay. And it was perfect time too, because it crossed over at the moment. It was rejecting, and now we had a pretty decent sizable move up. Now, the problem with this is it doesn't look like it's going to go higher. The reason for that is it's too high of a MACD. It almost looks like it wants to do like a head and shoulders MACD. What I mean by that is like you have one here, and then another, and then it goes down. It's usually price action is going to come down to here, maybe even lower. So what I would do is, if you're in Popcat right now, I would scale out just to be certain, right? Because there is a chance of it breaking down if we have any breakdown in Bitcoin these days. All right. And, maybe you can get in at 103, maybe 116. So the next one will be like the next low down here. Okay. But that MACD is way too high on the daily, right? Like on the hourly, you might be getting something like it might be a slow pump to like here and then down. So I wouldn't trust anything right now. Not yet. Again, if I'm wrong, I'll be happy to be wrong because, you know, I'm always happy when things are pumping, right? But as a trader, you got to look at the downside as well. So you don't want to be caught off guard. Okay. I don't know what Genon is, but I'll look at it for you. Okay. So this is on the 1 hour scale. So this is probably a new listing. I wonder if there's a longer chart. Okay, no. So this must be a brand new token. Okay. I mean, it looks like it wants a pinch here, but it's not certain yet, right? In terms of the trading channel, we can kind of identify now. So it's here. And then on the downside is it's about here, maybe here. Right, so it could be more downside. Right, we want to see like this play out before we have rejection and then. So normally in a traded channel, you will have a head and shoulders pattern, then inverse head and shoulders pattern, then another one. So it's like, it's a combination of a lot of those things. So in this case, I think we might see another down wave before we get a, you know, a correction. So keep an eye on it. If you're in it, you know, keep an eye on it, whether or not you get a pump out of that. That's also a possibility, right? Because if you get a pump out of that, it could be up to here, so 14 cents, so 100%, and then down. What I would do is just not hold my breath for anything higher than that. Okay. All right, cool. For anybody else, if you want to interact with the stream, it's very simple. All you have to do is go to the broadcast page, okay, and just typing anything. Like goat. Oh, really? Goat. Let me look at it. It's funny because goat got listed everywhere. Because again, it's all about the liquidity and the transactional volume. You know, exchanges want that those fees, right? Like that's all they care about. Their business to make fees. And so if you have a project that has huge transactional volume, of course they're going to list it for free. But if you don't have that, of course you're going to have to pay. So it's all about that. All right. So we did talk to you guys about this the other day. We said that once trend breaks down, it depends on what happens next in terms of sentiment, right? If we're still bullish overall, then this action, when it breaks down, it could hover sideways and then go again, right? It just needs a little bit more time. If we're bearish, this would pump back and then just go straight down, right? Because this is just a confirmation, okay? So in this case, you know, we kind of look for these, you know, indicators. We have the 200 daily, or sorry, 200 1 hour EMA at 29, maybe 30. So maybe we get there. That is if we're overall bearish. If we're bullish, depends on, you know, a lot of things, but I think we can go sideways and then up again to test that high at 51. I don't know. If you're not already in GOAT, like down here, like anything down here, then, or when you got the drop, I mean, what's the point of even playing right now? Unless you're day trading it. Then you got to go to like a 1 hour scale, sorry, 1 minute scale. So you would go straight to 1 minute, right? So go to the minute and go, what's going on the minute? In this case, you would be like following the EMAs religiously, right? Once you get to this level, start buying. Once you get to this level, start buying, right? Once you get past this level, start selling. Really straightforward, you know. And then you look at also your MACD. If we get in a crossover, that means the reversal is coming up, right? Same here. So you might want to start start to add at these levels, right? So these levels are obviously levels you want to start adding, and then removing your liquidity or selling at these levels. All right. Really straightforward. See, now you can watch this action too in real time if you want. Let's see if that level is going to hold. Right? See how people are coming back in to buy at this level? Also, momentum is getting smaller and smaller. MACD is about to curl on the 1 minute. So there might be a quick dump to here and then a straight pump. Anyhow, if you want more information about this kind of stuff, you can always go to our Discord, Dgenz NFT Discord. Yes, can we do Tremp? Absolutely, we can do Tremp. We're going to do that right now. So let's get into Politify tokens. All right, so let's remove all these again. Let's start fresh. All right. So you guys remember me talking about Tremp specifically because I did notice this pinch, right, on the MACD, on the daily, that usually is not good, right? Depends obviously on a lot of things, but usually it does not mean well. So we have to wait until this fully resets and hopefully resets at this horizon level. And then we have a crossover for the bulls and we go up, right? You really want like a higher low on the MACD, which means, let me go into MACD for a second. All right, so what I mean by that is, see how we have these higher lows, right? 1, 1, 1, 1. These are all higher lows. So we're almost hoping that this level stops here for a higher low and goes up again, right? If it doesn't, it's going to go straight to like another low, right? Just like this does. And let's take a look at action before that, right? See how we created a new low? All right, let me do this really quickly. All right, so this was our low, right? And this was the high. We didn't stop higher, right? We stopped actually much lower. So that pullback was much more significant. And if we take a look at price action now, right? So that pullback was here. That's why it was like continually dumping. We're like, when is it ever going to stop dumping? Yeah, because the pullback is really strong, right? So when we're in that negative territory, like deep negative territory for the MACD, it's really difficult to get back up again. So it needs more volume, more liquidity. All right. So when we are looking at this section here, it doesn't look great. I told you guys this already, because there's a lot of pushback from bears. Like every time it gets up, it gets rejected, rejected, rejected. So when we have that and we have the crossover happening, it's just not good, right? So now we say, when is the bottom? Well, we have 2 weeks away from the actual election. We kind of hope that MACD does cross over in the positive territory and we stop at this level here. So this level I'm looking at is the 20 right here, 24.25 cents. Okay. So let's see if it stops at that level. It kind of does this where, goes here, stops here, and it kind of hovers, and then we can get going to the last level, which in this case is going to be here. Right now, I said to you guys before, I think we kind of get to here. If we don't get to that level, then we can definitely get to the all-time high, which is about, between 130 and 150. But I strongly suggest that you guys start selling here in these levels here. So anything between 50 to 85 cents. All right. Just be happy with what you get, because if you're thinking you're going to get like, $4 or $5 or 300 million market cap or whatever the case is, just stop. Just please stop. All right. So that's good old Trump for you. Right. Okay. I'll keep that in mind. All right. Let me just quickly go over Comma. Comma is the other one that we're looking at. Okay. So the issue with this one is that it just it just continually struggles. Somebody mentioned to me on Twitter that the team is selling. Hopefully that's not true. But it could be anything. Crypto is just a crazy wild game, and anything could be happening, right? So it's up to you guys to do your due diligence on it. All of these tokens that we talk about, right? Like, just because I'm talking about it and I'm bullish on something doesn't mean you should be buying them. You should be doing your own research all the time. Okay, I should not be responsible for your investment strategies. I can give you help and I can give you ideas, but beyond that, it's all you. All right. Now, looking at this, it kind of does look like we're getting a higher low, which is fantastic, right? Because you want to get a higher low. Remember, we talk about higher lows being like a momentum starter, because that means more buyers are coming at this level than sellers, and much more buyers than before. So in this case, we're kind of getting in that higher low, right? If you can see it, we do have this head and shoulders situation. So maybe we get through that, which at this point is right here. So that will be the next high we're looking at as a possible sell, or as a means of understanding where we can see some selling, right? So that's what we're going to be looking at. Again, just like Trump, we're going to be selling here if we get going. All right, so in the 1.6, 1.7 cents range. All right. And then if we truly get that pump, expect the pump to be probably up to here, and be really, really happy getting your almost 4 cents from here. Because think about that, right? It's almost like a 6x. So just take it in and run. Okay. All right. Now we've got those out of the way. Chud. Is that a meme coin? Let me look it up on TradingView. Yeah, it looks like it. Okay, let me see if I can get on Deck Screener. All right, assuming this is it. Look at those wicks. All right, so it's a fat finger buy. That's what I call it. I call it a fat finger buy. When you press market buy and you realize you've had too much liquidity to buy, and that's what usually happens. You have this crazy pump, right? Doesn't mean it's going to keep going. It just means that somebody made a mistake. On looking at the chart itself, doesn't look great. You really wanted it to be down here, right? Because that's the conclusion of this head and shoulder. When we have a conclusion of the head and shoulders, right, at the neckline, and it doesn't fall through, we have a reversal, right? And it goes to the other side. So at this point, we've already had this run from 006 to, that's a 5x. So I would not touch it at all. If you're in Chud, scale out. You just never know with these things, right? Because again, they're complete memes. They can literally go to zero. And like we talked about before in previous streams, memes are basically the NFTs of 2021 and 2022. So all of them are eventually going to go to zero. That's a guarantee for me. Except for maybe like a couple of them that are still outstanding, like, maybe Popcat, maybe your Whiff, right? Obviously, ecosystems that are built around these meme coins are going to stay around because they have staying power. Like Doge, obviously, we've already talked about that. But Bonk is a big one, right? So they will have staying power. Everything else, just forget about it. Did that make any sense? Anytime. All right. I know I said want to get into layer 1s and 2s, so I'm going to try to do that in the next, hopefully 7 to 10 minutes. We do have requests for AVAX, so I'm going to go over AVAX as well. All right. By the way, if you have, friends that can benefit from the stream, please do share the stream with your followers. I know a lot of new people that are coming into the space right now. They need some guidance. As a now whatever 11-year, 12-year vet of the space, like I do have some experience in how to deal with these kinds of things. So if this is helping anybody, please do share it. Okay. All right, let's look at layer 1s and 2s. So let's start with AVAX. All right, this is a 1-minute chart. I don't know why we're looking at that. Let's look at 4 hour. Gives us an idea of day to day what we can expect. So to me, the most important thing is you have the right indicators, right? Start with EMAs, start with MACD, right? And go from there. Sometimes too many indicators is just too much noise. In my case, I kind of understand what I'm looking for. So it's easier for me to have less indicators. I don't even have RSI, if you can notice. Like, I don't really care about if it's overbought or oversold. To me, like, I've seen it happen where it's about to be, swapped from overbought to oversold, and it just keeps being higher than 80 or 90 for a long period of time. So I don't want to do that. But just to look at AVAX, for example, whenever we see price action go under these strong EMAs, I kind of get worried, especially when you see rejections here and here, right? So on the 4 hour, it doesn't look great. There's a potential it goes down to, I don't know, maybe halfway there. So $23. But let's look at it on the daily scale. Okay. So that's the single low, right? I think this is the higher low, which means we're going to be probably looking at AVAX doing something like this, right? First wave, second wave, third wave, fourth wave, and then decide what we do with the fourth wave to fifth wave. Is it going to be past 127, right? Is it going to be like in the double of 127, which is about what, 250? Just say 250, right? So about here, but the problem with these layer ones that have kind of seen already a bull run, and AVAX has seen a bull run, is that does it have staying power, right? We know Solana does, right? Because Solana is way higher on the chart than AVAX. Like Solana is here comparatively, right? And AVAX is down here. So that is a concern, right? So I say to myself, there's a chance of, is there likely chance of AVAX getting a new high than that? I would say no, because of where it is today, right? We want action to be as high as possible before the bull run, because then we get a new high, right? If we don't get there, like in the case of Polkadot, right? Polkadot, again, is very, very much struggling like AVAX. I know they had an event today, which is cool and everything else, but we needed Polkadot to be in this section today in order to have that extension to $100 to $120, in my estimation, because it needs a lot of liquidity to get there, right? So AVAX is struggling. It is most likely going to get at least to this level by the end of the bull run. So we're looking at a 4x, 5x, maybe we get to that level and then drop. So, use an opportunity now, because I think we do have some regression. Like if we take a look at it, MACD doesn't look that great or terrible. I mean, it can go either way, right? We have this completion of a head and shoulders, if you can see it. So it does work with MACD as well, right? And then, of course, if you look at it from this point of view, it is trading above these two EMAs. That's the 200 and the 365 EMA, which is always positive, right? Even though it's getting rejected at these levels all the time, I think there could be a push soon above that. All right, so just be patient with it. Let's see what else we have. Say, we tracked Say before. Do you see the difference now between AVAX and Say? So Say is above those lines, all the lines, right? Where AVAX is underneath the lines. Above these two EMAs, like the blue and the red, but it's still underneath that long term, that white one. You want price action to be as high as possible all the time because it sends in a message to the bulls. It says, you know what? This is a strong asset. We do believe in its price action. We want to make sure that it's above these supports, right? Like long-term supports. So bulls usually buy at those levels. With Say, for example, nothing changes. The only issue, again, with any of these is that we still haven't seen a full reset on the daily, right? So I think this is why we're all waiting for this action to start. Like alts are not getting any traction at all right now because we're still waiting for this full reset. Once we get a reset and we are starting to go to the upside, I think everything's going to align, right? Because our weekly is looking great, right? And, even though we have like this bar, which is kind of shitty if you ask me, but I think we're going to start to move up to the positive territory. And that only means a huge spike in everything. Soul price. Okay, what the fuck, right? We have this weekly pinch, which is amazing. Oh, sorry, let me do that again. We have this weekly pinch, but we have this stupid candle that is usually a reversal candle, right? So we'll see what happens. I don't think we reverse. It'd be kind of a shame if we reverse here and go down again and stay within this stupid channel, right? Because ideally we want to be getting out of that. If we take a look at it from this perspective and we squash the chart, it looks like a bullish chart to me, right? So, seeing it this way, it's really, really bullish. There's a lot of green volume still. Like very rarely you would see so much selling on the weekly, even though volume is not above average. I think it just tells you where everything is in general, right? Why this volume was huge in October 2023 is because it was trading at $40, $20 to $40, and it needed to get out of this long consolidation, right? So I think we're going to get another leg up here sooner than later. We're going to get into like $300. And then it's going to be interesting for all NFT holders. The transaction fees are going to be crazy. And this is probably what's going to happen with meme coins. They're going to be too expensive to trade. When transaction fees are getting higher and higher, people are going to be less likely to make 1,000 trades. So that's going to be interesting to watch, actually. Polkadot, really annoyed. See how this crossover is in bearish territory? This is what I was telling you guys. If it's crossing over in the bullish territory, it's much, much easier to get going, right? Than it is when it's that much bearish. And so, Polkadot is really, really underwhelming right now. I don't know. They're as legit as a blockchain can get, and it just does not get any bullish traction in my estimation. I don't know what it is, but we do have this crossover. Eventually, it's going to come this way. I hope we pass this level. I know it's sad to say, even $12, but maybe there's something to be said about a blockchain that's struggling a lot. I don't know. I wish I had more clarity on Polkadot. I'll be honest with you guys. All right. We're already over an hour. Let's look at one more request. AKT. Let me see. Is that a meme coin? A cash. Oh, that project. Yeah, that's an AI project, correct? Okay, so if there's a dump, I think it's going to happen quick, and it's going to be down here. Down here. All right? Because I don't think it's ready yet. even though it's crossing over here. Again, we're in negative territory. Might need another week. So if there's a dump here to this level, be ready to add more if you really love this project. Okay, so when you look at it, it did go from at the start of 24. What was that at? Like $1.60 to $6. I mean, come on, right? So what's going to happen is it's probably going to slow down here and then go again. All right. AI projects have been struggling. I don't know what's going on with them. I really don't. But you see how this weekly candle looks like shit? This is what I mean. It's probably going to dump here. And then, you know, you'll get your crossover. Bullish activity will push it back up. So be careful with that if you're holding. Okay. Okay, I think we covered a lot today. If you've listened this far and you've stayed with us the entire time, I thank you so much. I really appreciate you spending the time with me every single day. And I really do think that we gain a lot by, you know, doing this all the time together and continuing this trend of doing a daily stream, because I think it does help everybody out. And on that note, I thank you again. I'll see you guys tomorrow for episode 58.
News in the code, riding on a blockchain, heavy with the load. Lambo dreams are dying, rugs are in the air. Try give us a meaning to the trading everywhere. Real Bitcoin's on the moon, and ether's on fire. Holders in the storm, lifted higher and higher. With chart in the lead, watch the candles glow. Crypto's in the fast lane, never gonna hit them slow. Dgenz crypto daily, fortunes you can see. Mining all those diamonds in digital harmony. Dgenz crypto daily, crypto that's the key. Stay up on your game now, trading is wild and free. DeFi farms are lush, staking's all the buzz. NFTs are flipping, got those pixels flipping. Wallet stacking yield, hash rates on the rise. Dgenz crypto daily, vision in your eyes. Bulls are on the charge, bears are laying low. Crypto roller coaster, markets have been flown. Fellow to the left, Bitcoin on the right. Crypto's never sleeping, cause fortunes are overnight. Dgenz crypto daily, fortunes you can see. Mining all those diamonds in digital harmony. Dgenz crypto daily, crypto there's the key. Stay up on your game now, charts got you wild and free. Farms are lush, staking's all the buzz. NFTs are flipping, got those pixels flipping. Wallet stacking yield, hash rates on the rise. Dgenz crypto daily, vision in your eyes. Bulls are on the charge, bears are laying low. Crypto roller coaster, markets have been flown. Velo to the left, Bitcoin on the right. Crypto's never sleeping, cause fortunes are overnight. Dgenz crypto daily, fortunes you can see. Fortunes you can see. All those diamonds. Got you wild and free.